Hey guys, I'm Mark,
I'm Alen.
and welcome to another episode of The Next Man Up. Hey buddy, what's going on?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't hear the music because I don't have headphones, but I was watching Mark's eyes and head move a little bit, and I was catching on really quick. Like,
Yeah. Our actually, we'll get into this here in a bit. Our audio setup is different this time because of some changes and
But you went all high tech though.
Well, you know, we gotta do a good production. Gotta have good quality, right?
Absolute.
Yeah. So you know what today is, right?
Yes, first day of football.
First day of college
for Ohio
football.
State. I'm so excited.
Now I'm gonna offend probably 90% of our audience.
Here comes the hate mail. Ready for it.
Yes, if you have criticism, it's Alen at... No, never
No. I'm just going to forward them all to your email.
So I'm looking forward to actually a competitive game tonight, Michigan versus Notre Dame. You know, Michigan does not start with puff teams like Oregon State.
That's really interesting that you would say that.
Yes. No, it's like it snuck up on me. I was talking to my middle guy earlier this week, and he's like, man, I don't think I've been so excited about college football starting in a long time. And then it dawned on me, man, that's this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, summer's gone and it's September now, and we'll know how the first weekend goes by the time this episode airs.
Absolutely.
And,
Although I last time we checked, Ohio State was winning. Yes.
I don't think the
it's a win, Mark.
Yes, the outcome is not in unknown there.
It's a win for sure.
That's fine. Yes, and I've written about the whole Urban Meyer thing as part of the coaching blog that I do, non-sports coaching. So we don't. I'm resisting the urge to go there here, but suffice it to say, we need quality men in life. We just do.
Yeah.
We just do.
Yeah.
Regardless of your persuasion or opinion about how that situation went down, they're clearly able to win without him this week.
Oh, of course.
Tough team, yes.
Yeah, it's a win, Mark.
Well, I hope to be able to stand with you, when the next episode drops and say it was a win for Michigan tonight as well.
Okay.
Yes, I know you don't care.
No. Actually, you know what? I do want them to do well because it's always great when Ohio State and Michigan do well and then they meet up.
Yes.
Because then it's like a real game to me. It's like, oh man, two titans.
Yep.
You know, it's not like, oh, these guys, they only won like 2 games and the other guys have won like all their games. Like, that's not a game. Like, you know what I mean? I want it to be like we are evenly matched and we're going to go head to head. Give me some old school football.
I agree.
Right?
Michigan's been missing for the last decade.
Yes.
So
I wasn't going to say it. I was going to let you say it. I wasn't going to say it.
I get it.
But I do want Michigan to do well so that we can have a really good game.
I understand. I feel the same way.
We should watch that game together.
We should.
Yeah. You know what? We will.
We will do that.
Okay.
We'll get that one on the calendar. So, you know, the last time we were together, we were recording David and Hunter.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
What a great conversation.
That was a great conversation, man. That was awesome.
You and I didn't have a whole lot of time to debrief after that because we both went different directions. But, man, as I was reflecting on that, I was just thinking that there were so many similarities that I didn't expect. You know, the words that he used to describe, the ways like, we didn't know what we were doing. We just got started and tried to figure it out. I think I've said that exact same thing here.
Yep.
It just felt like there was so much similarity and overlap to stories. And I knew there was a similar journey, but I was pleasantly surprised by all the other similarities that came out.
Yeah, man. It was, I don't know, for me it felt like in that connection, there was like a sense of, not the only one.
Yes.
You know what? All it needs is someone to take a step.
Yeah.
You know, and I took a step, Mark took a step, this guy's taking a step. You know what? His son's taking a step.
Yeah, he
Our
is.
sons are taking a step. Dude, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. As messy as it may be, we're doing it. You know what I mean? That gives me hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it was cool to be able to encourage them to like keep going, lean into this thing. And like you said, there are others out there.
Yeah.
And the more we can create an awareness and a community, I'll use that word lightly, but a community of other guys that are aware of this type of stuff, even better, right?
Even better, buddy. Even better. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. Well, I hope our listeners enjoyed it. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, just go back a couple of episodes and listen to the interview that we did with both David and man. Hunter. It was a good time.
Interesting to have dad and son perspective.
That was a nice dynamic. Yeah. So I remember in that recording, I said in a couple of days, I'm going to be going through a difficult transition in my life. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was hard. So we recorded that on, I don't know, like a Tuesday or something. And that Friday I was in the car with my oldest driving off to Memphis to drop him off to college.
Wow.
And we'd been anticipating this for a while, and I knew it would be difficult. I knew that. Intellectually, I knew that. But experientially, I'm like, I haven't experienced this before, and I don't really know what it's going to be like. It was hard. It was hard.
I would think it would be, man.
I think I mentioned that he wrote a song about change. It was just his way of processing through this transition. And in the song, he's like, we've been together my whole life. And so that's from his perspective. And then I hear it from my perspective. We've been together your whole life. For 18 years, we have been together. We've been doing this thing together. And now it's time for you to fly. And it's so funny because it's everything that we've been talking about in this conversation, in this context.
Sure.
I kind of got to live it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's the phrase? Easier said than done. Yeah.
Totally easier said than done. I guess that's with everything, though, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And it's change, and it's good. I imagine that that those that go through this and feel a little bit of doubt or reluctance, or like, is this really the right thing for my kid to be doing? Yeah. It's got to make it even harder, because for us it really could not have gone better. Despite the fact that he's a long car trip away,
sure.
We're pleased, we're happy, we're proud of who he is. He's become who we wanted him to be.
That's got to be an awesome feeling.
It is, and we're so confident in where he's going that it's the best fit for him right now. There's no doubts anywhere along that, and yet, dude, it's still letting go. I miss the kid.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Like, dude, yeah, man. I'm like, let that be like an affirmation. Like, yes, that's what we want.
You've experienced this sort of, right, with your oldest, although she's still at home,
close. But the idea that this is not. It's still my daughter, but that it's not a little girl living at home with mom, dad, and siblings. This is my daughter who is a young woman. Yeah. And like, I need to let her go. I gotta let go. I can't be the instructional, coach anymore. I have to be counselor. I gotta be a dad who steps back and lets go of the wheel of the car and allow her to drive. I gotta get my foot away from the brakes just in case she crashes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it changes everything. The whole mindset changes, and it's been tough, man. Yeah, it's been tough because there's moments where I want to go, and this is why. Right. Like, I told you to,
give me that wheel back.
Give me the. I want to move in the seat. And it's like, nah, man. This is you. I've been privileged. It has been an honor to raise this once young girl into this awesome young woman.
Yeah.
And my job now is not to continue being the instructional raiser.
Yeah.
Like, instead, I have to let her go, man.
Yeah.
And to understand that she is going to make mistakes because no one's perfect. And to understand that that she is going to succeed because that's part of life too. Like, she is going to like move into like areas of life of unknown for her.
Right.
And I gotta be okay with that.
Right.
You know, like all the while if she continues the path, she will become more and more of the woman that she was created to be. That's an honor, man. That's a privilege. And that requires me to let go.
Yeah. You know, we were talking earlier before we turned on the recording just about how we can sometimes think we're all alone. Like it's just us. No one else is feeling this, experiencing this, which is just so not true. But as I was processing, you know, this whole idea of letting go and thinking about the journey from baby to toddler to like we let go through the entire 18, 19 years, right?
Yeah.
But it presumes an engagement to start with. You can only let go of something that you've held and held on to.
That's true.
Which is a theme that we talk about. You've got to be engaged. But there's a letting go process that happens. You know, when they first go off to school, or I was picturing this when they're learning to ride a bike and you're running behind and holding the seat and you let go for the first time, right? You know they're gonna fall at some point. And yet it's like, go. I get all that, but this one feels different.
You know, maybe because it's your firstborn, maybe, like, like, you know, I don't know.
The other ones are going to be easier. I'm going to be like, just go here.
See, I don't.
Here's some money, get out.
That's funny. That's hilarious. I don't know, man. I don't know if they'll be easier. But I think for me personally, I felt it in different ways at different stages with each kid. Like, I remember when my oldest went into middle school, like, there was an excitement, there was a joy. But then, like, when my next daughter went into middle school, dude, I got into the car and pulled to the furthest parking spot from the school that I could find, and I sat there and wept.
Oh my God.
I cried.
Wow.
And then I was like, I went into full daddy, like, protective mode, and I'm talking with, I'm praying, right? I'm praying, communicating with the Lord, and I'm like, dude, and I swear, if any kid goes in there and messes with her, I'll go into that school and I'll get him. I mean, I was like, protect my daughter, Dad. It was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Each kid, I felt it was just a different feeling, but it's still tough.
Yeah.
It's still tough.
You know, I'm having an awareness now that really is for the first time. So we have homeschooled our kids through the entire process.
Oh.
So for us, you know, there was never put them on the bus. There was never going from one building to the next. Maybe that's part of this for us.
Wow.
Is he's always been here. And
Interesting.
You know, homeschooling isn't for everybody. It's been a great thing for us. It's been really good.
Cool.
But this is the first time really where we're...
Oh, literally.
Yeah, like we put him on a bus, you know, so to speak, and he's not coming back for weeks. So, I don't know, just listening to you process, that idea popped in my head. That it could be part of why this has been a challenge. We were standing in the parking lot and we all knew what was coming. You know, ready to say goodbye, but not ready. Mm-hmm. And he's starting to tear up, and my wife has been holding it back and starting to tear up. And I knew at that moment that if I let go, like it would be no bueno, as you like to say. Just everybody would have become a mess. Yeah. And so I didn't. I held it back. I'm like, look, we got to go. I did sort of that man into action thing. Yeah. We're like, we've got to move. Yeah. and it felt natural. It felt good. Like if we had stayed any longer, it was prolonging and just kind of hanging on. But it was pretty emotional. And so we get through that, and I'm thinking, okay, it's over. I survived. And then, so that was, let's see, we drove down on Friday, ultimately came back here on Sunday. We wake up Monday morning, and I'm in this funk. Yeah. I'm just in this fog, and it takes me until the better part of the day to realize it's an emotional fog. It's not a physical fog, like tired from the drive or whatever. I'm sad. Yeah. And when I finally put words to that, it was like, oh yeah, I did not anticipate the lingering effect of not having him around.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
The space to grieve, man. We gotta be able to do that. Yeah. Like in these moments. And you know what? I want to put a finger on that because, like I feel like me personally as a dad, it's been my experience, is that sometimes a lot of times I find that I don't allow space for those types of feelings to surface. Yeah. And then I'm wondering, like you, like, man, why am I so angry? Or why am I so like in a funk? I don't have any motivation. I feel off. Right. It's like, wait, maybe there was something that I needed to feel or I needed to process that I just haven't yet. Like my daughter going to middle school. Yeah. Like, why was I sobbing in that parking lot? Like, or, when my, well, I won't even give out. I got a whole bunch of stories, but like, we just taking the time to process that stuff because we're parents, man. Yeah. We're parents. Something was created and we have, like I said, the privilege of parenting that young one for so many years, and in that, man, there's so many things that happen, so many milestones, but also so many moments of like, of needing of grief. And when we forget to grieve, when we forget to engage in those feelings and emotions, man, it could be detrimental.
It's pretty easy for guys to just stuff it down and move on.
I'm good. Right? I'm not crying.
Right. I got work to do. Yeah. I'm busy. I don't have time for this. Or like men don't cry, right? Like all these types of things. It's just too easy for us to pass over it. Yeah. And not really sit in that emotion and experience it and allow that experience to be part of the healing and grieving process.
Like it's wow.
Yeah.
I love old cartoons. I'm just one of those guys. And so there's an old cartoon. It's still out, like still being played. It's King of the Hill. Oh yeah. And Hank, I laugh at Hank, but Hank reminds me of every guy. Because Hank had something happen where his dog is having some issues and it looks like he might have to put his dog down. And so in front of everybody's face or whatever, it was his car. Because that was the episode I'm talking about is his car. His car was dying, his truck, and he's had this truck like for years. I mean, like 18, 20 years or whatever. And his truck starts dying. And people are like, are you going to be okay? And he's like, I'm fine, man. I'm fine. He goes and watches a movie and it starts tearing up because it's a father and son. Yeah. And the father is dying and the son is trying to, talk to the dad. And the dad's like, sharing his emotions. And he signifies like the father as his truck. Right? And he's starting to tear up and his friends were in the audience when we're like, you crying? He's like, no, it's just condensation. Right. You know what I mean? And he's pushing everything away and like everything he's doing, he's trying to do everything to make sure that no one sees his emotion. Yeah. And every time he starts to grieve even by himself, he would push that emotion down, and he would push that sense down. It's like, nah, man, we can't do that. We can't live like that.
Yeah.
You know, he eventually ended up crying and telling his wife, like, this is what she had him go to the doctor.
Oh.
Like, she was one of those, she had him go to the doctor, and like she was like, so check his eyes out to make sure there's nothing wrong with his eyes, and come to find out nothing. So
no, it's a heart issue.
He finally breaks down. It's like, oh, my truck. And she's like, your truck? But dude, there's things in life that we need to grieve. And when we're talking about raising our kids, there's moments where we are letting go more and more, and we have to deal with that. Man.
Yeah.
And don't hide from it, dads. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Don't hide from it.
Yeah, it's part of the process.
Yeah.
It's what we set them, raise them, grow them up to do, and then we got to let them do it. So that brings up another thought. I know you are blessed like me to have a fantastic woman to call your wife, and,
yes.
and your partner and your friend. And my wife made a really, really stellar observation. She's like, Mark, if we hold on, because that's what we want. Mm-hmm. That's what feels better to us, because we don't want to let go. We don't want to experience the pain. If we hold on or impose on him what we want, then we never let him grow into what he's supposed to become. So
true. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's wisdom. It doesn't mean it's any easier.
That's a smart wife you got.
It is a smart wife.
Very intuitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she gets it. She gets it. She was in the process all along and is just as excited and as in pain as I am.
Sure, man.
About everything that's going down. But I think she rightly put her finger on it. We need to let him go be who he's supposed to be.
Yes.
And not get in his way. And it's good.
Let him fly.
That's right. That's right. It's interesting that first week. That first week was hard because he got into it in a hurry, like really busy in a good way, connecting with his roommate and some other kids, and they were just doing stuff all the time, which is unusual for him and his nature and his personality. He tended to stay a little closer to the nest. Well, now he was like all over the place, doing all kinds of, like, you did what? Really? So that first week was pretty difficult because we just didn't hear from him, So here we are processing, we've lost him, and he's down there like, woohoo! Yeah. But when we finally had a chance to talk with him, we got all kinds of cool stories.
Dude, that's cool. And just
every single one reaffirmed what we believed to be true, that he's in the best place for him right now at his stage. And it was fantastic to hear that affirmation coming back.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's good. I still don't think that I have fully, I'm healing, let's say it that way. The first week was hard, the second week was a little better. Now we're kind of into a cadence of being able to communicate with him on a regular basis.
Sure.
It's feeling a little bit more normal. And it's opened up space for engagement, a different dynamic in the house with the other two, which is cool too.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude. You gotta live it out.
That's right. And thank you for letting me use this microphone and this session as a little bit of therapy to kind of process it.
Guys, folks that are listening, this is more for me and Mark. It's an opportunity for us to just get stuff out.
Yeah. And if it relates,
then it's great.
Yes.
Icing on the cake.
That's right. Well, it's like I said, thank you for letting me use.
Dude, thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We gotta be open with one another. So I appreciate you telling me that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And listeners, if you got your own stories or maybe some advice, maybe you've been down this road before and can slap us around a little bit and tell us how to do it well, then you know the drill. Feedback at thenextmanup.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolute. Mark, deuces.
Adios. Hey listeners, thanks for journeying with us on this Next Man Up podcast. We would love to hear from you. Maybe you have a question or an idea, perhaps a topic for us to consider. If that's you and you want to reach out to us, you can get us at feedback@thenextmanup.com. That's feedback@thenextmanup.com. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, we'll see you later.